Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Today, I'm going to talk about 5 watch brands you should absolutely not buy at retail because they lose a ton of value. Not saying don't buy these watch brands at all, but buy them pre-owned or buy them heavily discounted. And then you can still enjoy them without the pitfalls of losing hundreds or thousands of dollars. Now, of course, before we get started, customary wristwatch check. Today I'm wearing my Breitling Chronomat Evolution. Haven't worn this watch in a little bit. I've owned it for a long time. I don't wear it a ton, but I love the early 2000s vibes that it gives me. I do like to bust it out every so often. And also, guys, don't forget to check out delraywatch.com. We got some more cool watches in stock, including a now rarely seen Omega Speedmaster Mark 40, the colorful version. These are super cool. Hodinkee even did a re-release of this. This is not the re-release. This is the OG, the way it should be. An absolutely charming Omega. We have a Panerai PAM 24, my favorite ever Panerai, which unfortunately I've never owned. It's just rough and tumble watch. It's a Luminor with the rotating bezel, and it still has the out of movement. None of that fancy schmancy in-house Panerai stuff that they don't decorate. And I don't know, it's just a kick-ass watch. It's big, it's bulky, it's masculine, a fantastic tool. And a Tudor Prince chronograph in a very rare dark burgundy dial. This dial is not one you see very often. When I was researching it, I only saw one other one for sale. I've seen them in the past, but these have dried up. They've become very hard to find. And this color just really gives this watch its own personality. Anyway, guys, back to the list. Now, I did make a video like this 3 or 4 years ago, but the market does change. Some brands go up, some brands go down, and me being a watch dealer and a collector, I have insight into the market. Now, everything is based on my opinion, and this list is not exhaustive. There's a lot more brands like this, but of course, they can't all fit into one video. But these are the 5 that pop in my head right away, in no particular order. The first one is Jacob & Co. Yes, Jacob & Co. finally started making some very interesting high-end horology as opposed to the pure garbage they were releasing years ago. But I still don't think these watches are selling well. If you look around, you can find them heavily discounted. Yes, they've got extremely high sales, MSRPs, manufacturer suggested retail prices, but you should pay nowhere near this. They won't hold their value. If you go to a Jacob authorized dealer, they'll negotiate. I'm sure if you go to a Jacob boutique, they'll negotiate, one of the few boutiques that does negotiate. And unless it's something extremely rare and hard to find, then honestly, just go gray market. You won't get the papers, but you'll save a ton of money. Next is a brand I actually quite like, and that is Graham. An interesting brand. Big watches, interesting mechanism with their trigger, their kind of trigger crown that they used to do a long time ago. This watch brand has been bought and sold multiple times, and one thing that is for sure is, in the dealer world, there are wholesale dealers, so dealers that sell closeouts. Closeouts are heavily discounted dead stock. They sell them to dealers like me, and then I sell it on to the public. One thing that I always notice is whenever I get a list from one of these wholesale dealers is Graham is always on it, and it's always cents on the dollar. I think their designs are maybe a little too wild to appeal to everybody. I don't know how they run their business. I know they've opened and closed and reopened multiple times. I actually like what they make, but one thing is for sure, if you buy one at full retail, you're gonna lose, because these are easily found most of the time at heavy discounts. Now a brand that's actually getting a little bit better, but you should still not quite pay full retail, and that is Montblanc. A brand I very much like, a brand that's done a lot of things well. Their new diver is a hit. They also bought the Minerva factory a few years ago. They make some killer chronographs. I think their price point is rather fair, but people still have the stigma that Montblanc is only a pen brand. So they've become harder to sell. What does that mean? That at an authorized dealer, you can ask for a discount, and you can even find them on the gray market pretty heavily discounted as well. Now, while these discounts have shrunk on Montblanc as the brand image rises, I still think we're quite a while away from being able to pay full retail and not take a total bath if you want to trade. Raymond Wheel. Wheel? I'm not even sure. A brand that's been pretty relevant for a long time. A brand that a lot of the older generation will remember fondly. What do we say? Just a lot of quartz stuff. No real design language. When we think of a Raymond Wheel, a watch doesn't really pop into my head. I'm not saying they make bad watches. They just don't have a concrete direction. And while they've been around a while, and at the right price, I'd even wear one, it's just one of those brands that, once again, like the rest, they don't move. And if they don't move, it means you can get a great price on it elsewhere, but it also means if you pay full retail and you try and sell it, you're going to take a hit. Now, last but not least is a brand I know you guys love, and even actually I do, and that is Ball. Ball watches, with their American history, their tritium gas tubes, pretty cool designs, some hideous, some I actually quite like. But if there's one thing that's for sure, is these brands don't hold at all. At all. And I like Ball. I think they make a good watch. But if you buy Ball, particularly pre-owned, you can save 60, 70, 80, 85% off of retail. I just think their distributor is too heavy-handed, dumps too much inventory, is with too many authorized dealers who are willing to discount it, and that means to us, the public, that we can find it elsewhere at a much cheaper price. And if you like Ball, that is something you should do, and I do recommend you buy one because I actually like it, but as the market stands right now, we are nowhere near needing to pay full retail for a Ball watch. Guys, as I said, this list could be a lot longer, and you can check out the older video that I made with this. Just type in 5 watch brands that lose a lot of value, and you'll see my list from a few years ago. As I said, things go up and down. A lot of things stay the same, but it's a topic that I wanted to revisit, so hopefully either save you guys money for making a mistake, or at least help you guys buy these watches and know that you can get a killer price. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It really does help. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any more content. And of course, I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.